We will find a match.
Yeah, we have to, Mom. There are no other options.
All right. I've taken Heather's sample to the lab. They're collecting Franco's. And after that, we've tested every surviving family member.
Not everyone.
Who did I forget?
Someone who is not on the list.
Who?
My father.
Sam, we haven't even gotten the results for the relatives that we're having
I know,
tested.
Mom, I know. And if one of them is a match, that's great. I mean, I don't even care if it's Heather or Franco, but what if we don't have a match? Danny, he's an only child, and Jason is dead. So my father could be his only hope.
I don't...
You don't want to talk about it. I understand that, Mom. I get it. I really do. And if it weren't for Danny, I would not be asking about this. I wouldn't. And I know as hard as it is for you to... Isn't it time for me to know who my father is?
We've never discussed this before.
I mean, I've always wanted to ask, but I never wanted to press you. You know, we haven't always been this close.
No, I know, not like now.
I understand why you never wanted to talk about it. I think I've always understood that you had your reasons to keep quiet, and when you were ready, you would talk to me about it. If Danny's life didn't depend on it, I would leave it alone. I wouldn't even be asking you about this right now, but my son needs a marrow transplant to survive, and knowing who my father is it's never been more important.
I understand.
Mom, what if he has children or siblings or, I don't know, any family member that could be a potential donor for Danny? I mean, what if his side of the family could save his... It's okay, Danny.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you about your father. When I was 16, your grandfather, Makos Cassadine, had me shipped off to boarding school. Briarton Griggs in New Hampshire.
Right, he had to protect you from Helena because you were his mistress's daughter and she hated you.
So much so that I grew up believing that I was some impoverished cousin, Alexis Davidovich. And I was orphaned in a car crash. I had repressed memories of my mother's murder. And I grew up believing that my own father was some distant, intimidating uncle. I'm only telling you that because I want you to understand how much I hated being on that island and how much I wanted to get out of it.
I know, Mom. I can only imagine.
So when I landed in Portsmouth, I was so relieved to be away from Helena and all the rest of them. The only one I missed on occasion was Stefan. And I thought this is a chance for me to reinvent myself. Unfortunately, Briarton Griggs was a buttoned-down, very strict institution. Just the way my father wanted it. So I went from one prison to another prison.
Well, clearly you didn't let that stop you.
Yeah, I was a very resourceful 16-year-old. I was also very determined just to have an experience. So one day I got all dressed up and I put on makeup and made my hair look like I was older, and I snuck out of school and I went into town. And I ended up at this local bar. Turns out I didn't even have to be 18 because they weren't checking. And I was terrified, but I ordered my first drink, and he didn't even ask. He just gave me a Tom Collins. So I sat there sipping it, and that's when I met your father.
My father was in the bar?
Yeah. He came in with a bunch of guys, his friends, and Well, I'll tell you, they weren't the privileged preppy types that the academy would ship in for mixers.
They're the bad boys.
Well, I wouldn't say they were. Yeah, they were bad boys. And maybe I just wanted to be a bad girl. Yeah. One of the bad boys, the cute one, caught my eye.
Yeah. What was it about him?
He had messy hair and he kind of kept flipping it. And he had a leather jacket, and I thought that was cool. You get that.
I get that. Always.
So I would stare at him for God knows how long, and he caught me staring at him, and he smiled at me, and I smiled at him. And he walked over, and he sat next to me, and he bought me some drinks. Not a lot, because it was the first time that I had ever had alcohol.
Yeah, but it probably went straight to your head.
So he asked me if I needed air, and I did. And we went for a walk, and it was really cold outside, so he offered to warm me up.
Did he actually say that?
He was really nice about it. I was 16, and I was drunk. And then he kissed me, and he took my hand, and we went into the back seat of his car. Next thing I knew, I was no longer a virgin, and I was pregnant.
So, you got pregnant the first time?
Yep. I didn't even know I was pregnant for a long time.
Now, how could you not realize something like that?
Stupidity, naivete, denial, you take your pick. I went to the nurse because I was feeling sick. And the next thing that happened was they told me that Mikos was coming to get me. And I was terrified.
Who could blame you?
I'm sure he paid off the nurse because the whole thing was covered up. He insisted that I give you up for adoption. Well, I'll never forget the day that you were born. And when they took you away from me, I didn't think I'd see you again. But that's all history.
What about my father? I mean, he must have known that you were pregnant.
I never saw him again. He drove me home. He dropped me off at school. I don't have any way of knowing how to get in touch with him.
Who was he, Mom? What was his name? Mom? You have to tell me. Danny's life could depend on it. Who is my father?
I don't know his name.
What?
The reason I never told you who your father was is because I don't know.
What is Sam's father's name? Jay? That's it? Who is Jay?